कोई दिक्कत होगी तो। Hello friends, today in this very special session we are going to have a live class or live stream for English paper that was held on 14th October. Unfortunately, I couldn't get enough time to provide you answer key of education psychology portion of this paper. Sorry for my delay. And earlier I committed to my students that I will provide you solution. Actually, most of papers are solved by any other institutes or coachings, but I think no one has come out for solution of the paper of English in education psychology. So it is my humble effort to provide you authentic answers with some explanation in English. So you are all welcome in this small session of Arya Edu app. Myself, Nirmal Kumar Arya. I would like to tell you that I have been selected in English subject also in RPSC twice in 2015 and later in 2017 also. In 2015 I was selected in history and English, and in 2017 I was selected in history, English and political science. So English is basically my passion, and I have cleared the NET exam in English also twice. That's why I feel a natural affinity or affection for this language, and that's why I am here for the English medium students or English students, those who appeared in this school lecturer exam RPSC in the English subject. So without wasting time, let's go to the first question. I think there were about 16 or 17 questions in this exam, and the first question which I found is that yeah, the first question is yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm a little bit technologically not fit for this platform. Sometimes I fail, but gradually I will improve also. The first question is, the emotion of fear is associated with which basic instinct? It is very simple question. William McDougall, who gave 14 basic emotions and 14 basic instincts in his book, which is known as the Introduction to Social Psychology, and this book was published somewhere in 1907 or 1980. And in this book, he gave 14 emotions and 14 basic instincts. And the right answer of this question is escape. Escape is the basic instinct which is related to the emotion of fear. There is a very direct relation between emotion and fear. When in instinct and emotions, when your emotions become uncontrolled, the behavior which is reflected or depicted, or behavior which is demonstrated by any creature or human being or any animal, that is called his basic instinct. So in this way, emotions are prior and instincts are later. That is the very relation between basic instincts and emotions. You should remember one fact, that your emotions are prior and instincts are later. When emotions are uncontrolled, the behavior depicted by a creature is called basic instincts. So it is clear, it was very easy question, and William McDougall has given the whole list of 14, and it is given in it is the first example of the pairing of basic instincts and the emotions. So it is very easy. So let's go to the next. Yeah. Actually, the next question is question number 53. Yeah. Which part of the computer performs arithmetic operations? It is very easy. It is a arithmetic logical unit. ALU, arithmetic logic unit. It performs the basic functions like addition, subtraction, and division, multiplication, and all other things like if, or, and any type of logical operations are performed by ALU. It is very simple, and especially for the English students, it is very easy because they will naturally identify with the word ALU because it is in most of our computer terminology is directly in English. So next go to the next question, which is I think not in this slide. Mhm. And the next question is yeah, question number 61, and this question it is asked in the question that which statement is incorrect. The emphasis is on incorrect. Which statement is incorrect with related to cybernetics? Actually, the cybernetics is a new science that deals with animals' behavior and or human behavior and creatures' behavior, and deals with it, compares with it with machines. So it is science that controls communication in the animals and machines. Yeah, it is right. It emphasizes on group teaching in place of individual teaching. It is also known as a feedback psychology. Yeah, it is also true. And this approach is effective for self-learning. Yeah. So it emphasizes on group teaching in place of individual teaching. Actually, in information technology, there is no such emphasis. It can be used for group as well as individual teaching. So I think the correct answer of this question is it emphasizes on group teaching in place of individual teaching. It can be used for individual teaching as well as with equal ease, with without any discrimination. So this is very easy question. Next question is question number 65. Yeah. From the following, which kind of science best reflects the nature of education psychology? It is very easy question. And if you know in any guide, in any book, when you start reading education psychology, initially in few pages the very basic nature of education psychology is defined, that education psychology is a positive science and it is not a normative science. So it is reflected here that it is a positive science and it is not a normative science. So from the following, which kind of science best reflects the nature of education psychology? It is positive science. It is not normative science because normative science deals with ethics, morality, the what should be there, what should happen, and the positive science emphasizes on what is. It emphasizes on the fact, not on values. So that is the basic difference between positive science and normative science. And you have to remember only one thing: it is positive science and it is not a normative science. No normative science. That's clear. So next question is question number 68. Yeah. Question number 68, basically, it is a question about adjustment. Adjustment is the function of the behavioral norms behavioral norms of one's culture and society it belongs to. Adjustment is the function of the behavioral norm, and very answer of this question is given in the question itself, because it gives you four options. First is psychoanalytic model, second is moral model, third is behavioristic model, and fourth is sociogenetic model. And that now read the question again, you will find the answer here. Adjustment is the function of behavioral norms of one's culture and society. So behavioral norms, it directly deals with a behaviorist model. Actually, in the behavioristic, from the behavioristic viewpoint, it deals with a person's behavior in a particular culture or particular environment. So the right answer of this question is behavioristic model. Next, let's go to the next question. Next question is Ravi, a senior secondary school student, develops cognitive strategies to think more deeply and logically. Here emphasis is Ravi is an adolescent. He reads in a senior secondary school, and he develops cognitive strategies to think more deeply and logically about how to solve problems. He has developed some cognitive ability to develop to learn how to solve some problems. It means he has acquired some skill, some learning, which is changing his behavior. What is learning? Learning is something which is reflected in the permanent change of your behavior. So his behavior is now changed into how to solve problems. So which one of the following is correctly fit to this example according to the reciprocal determinism model? Number one, behavior influences cognition. No. Cognition influences behavior. Yes, because according to the cognitive psychology, the cognitive method of learning is that we create learning, and this learning influences our behavior. Third is cognition influence environment. No, it is not possible. Cognition influences environment. It is not true here in this context, but my basic passion is philosophy. In philosophy, it may be true in context of Kant, when Kant says that mind makes nature, man creates environment. So where in the philosophy it may be true, but in the context of psychology it is not true. It would be a long discussion on Kant, because Kant is my favorite philosopher. And the fourth is environment influences behavior. Here the basic concept is the Ravi, a senior secondary student, has acquired or developed some cognitive strategy. So here cognition influences the behavior. It will be the right answer. It will be right answer. Next question is 76. Let's see whether it is in this slide or in the next slide. 76. Yeah, it is in the same slide. And 77 is also in this. Yeah, there are two more questions in the same slide in continuity. The next question is on your screen. The question number 76. Yeah. When we teach through teaching models, here this is question, very good question about teaching model, and it will definitely, such type of question is not asked in the other subjects. Or maybe that I have seen only 5 or 7 papers of education psychology. Maybe somewhere it was asked, but for me it is a new. When we teach through teaching models in the classroom, each model has some instructional and nurturant effects. on the students, both instructional as well as nurturant effects of scientific inquiry model. Scientific inquiry model is of Sackman. Inquiry model are given below. Find out the instructional effects only. So out of these five, three are related to this nurturant effect, and two are from the domain of instructional effect. So we have to identify the instructional effects only. Actually, spiritual creativity, you can get the clue from the very question or very options if you have not read it anywhere, that spiritual creativity means it is nurturing something within you, it is cultivating something within you. So spiritual creativity belongs to nurturant effect. And the second is tolerance of ambiguity. Third is, and fourth is strategy for creativity. So B will not be here answer, and tolerance of ambiguity. Scientific progress deals with instructional effect, yeah, and strategies for creativity. Autonomy in learning, yes, it is also related to nurturant effect. So E is also not an right option in it. Now tolerance of ambiguity. Tolerance of ambiguity also deals with nurturant effect. So it is also not here. So C, wherever is C, it is also not. So only two options are left, A and D, and A and D are given in number 4. Scientific progress and strategies for creative inquiry. These are instructional effect, and the rest three deals with nurturant effect. So the right answer of this question will be this, A and D. It is really very good question, but you can solve this question because the key is given within the answer, within your range. If you are not lost your calmness in the examination hall, you can easily solve this question. So let's go to the next question. Before that, I would like to erase all these red dots because it is creating so much mess on the board and it may mix with the other question. So next question is regarding educational psychology. Next question is question number 77. Regarding educational psychology, the definition of Crow and Crow focused on. Yes, Crow and Crow is a favorite of all paper setters in education psychology, and you should know basic 3-4 definitions of Crow and Crow and Thorndike. They are very favorite psychologists, and Crow and Crow says that education psychology deals with learning experience of an individual from childhood till his old age, means from beginning of life till the end of life, from cradle to grave, whatever experience, learning experience a person have, everything is related to education psychology. So the right answer of this question is learning experiences of an individual. It is very easy question, and I think most of students have not made such a silly mistake in these type of questions. And I think these type of questions are just to give you a boost in the examination hall, so that if you have solved easy questions, you can keep on solving the average, medium range questions, and then you can crack the nuts of the difficult questions also. So next question is effective communication facilities. Teaching learning in the classroom. Effective communication facilities teaching learning in the classroom, but many times we may become ineffective in our communication. For example, it is a application sense question. A student of grade 11 could not achieve grade A in terminal examination. The teacher with disappointment. Here, teacher is disappointed because his student couldn't get a grade A according to his expectation. As most of teachers become angry, and most of teachers nowadays are angry because even here, even I am angry because the students they couldn't get good performance, or couldn't perform according to my expectation in my subject of history and psychology. So it is natural. But now coming to the question, the teachers with disappointment tells him, you are a loser. You are a loser. You are a loser. So answer is he is labeling. It is very easy. He is labeling. He is branding him that you will not get any success. You will be a big failure. Like that, saying this, you are good for nothing. These type of comments, you will not get anything in your life. You are worthless fellows. These type of comments means you have become judgmental. You have passed your verdict. You have labeled on his face, on his soul, that you are not going to get anything. So it is labeling. Advising is not, ordering is not, threatening is also not. So it is easy question. And my sincere advice to the teachers, the future teachers, that we should not label any students. It disheartens him. It lowers his spirit, and it shatters his inbuilt faith in himself, that I will not get any success. When I teach in a school, for example, earlier I was in primary school, nowadays I am in a senior school. I remember that in beginning days, there were some students who used to say, sir, we can't read. Then I asked him, who told you? Sir, my colleague told me that I am not able to read. It means the students give very high opinion to the peer groups or teachers' opinion. So it creates a negative impact on their learning behavior, and we should not do it at any cost. Never label anyone, never give any brand, never, never and never. It will dishearten them. So the next question is it is 81. Oh, it is 97 number. So we have to go on the next slide, and it is also at the bottom of the slide. Let me enlarge it so that it can be visible on your mobile screen. Yes, yes, yes. Which of the following characteristics doesn't explain emotional intelligence of the person? On emotional intelligence, in every paper, at least one question is asked on emotional intelligence. Which of the following characteristics doesn't explain the emotional intelligence of the person? Number one, couldn't sense ounce feeling and emotion. So answer is given in the very first line, because here question is which one of the following characteristic doesn't explain the emotional intelligence of the person? Emotional intelligence of the person, the first feature is that a person should be able to identify his own feelings and emotions. And here question is couldn't sense, it means it is the answer. Identify and perceive various type of emotion. Yes, it is true. Incorporate the perceived emotions in ounce thought. Yes, it is also true. He should be very comprehensive, very liberal, and he should be able to embrace all types of his experiences, what he perceived from others. and he should take decision or judgment by incorporating a very wide range of thoughts, have proper understanding of the nature and outcome of one's emotion intensity. It is true. So answer is very easy, and I think by reading the very question, but you should try. You should read all four options. So sometimes we make silly mistake of jumping on the conclusion that yes, yes, it is right answer, and we fill the oval, and then it is too late. Sometimes during my competitive years, I also made such type of silly mistakes, and in every 100 questions, one or two such type of silly mistake of jumping on conclusion too early is made. Next question. Next question is question number 107. Yeah. During the processing of information, focusing on a specific fact of experience, that is ignoring others that are irrelevant, is called. Her question is, during the processing of information, focusing on a specific aspect on experience. Here we are focusing on a specific aspect of experience. Here focus on the question. He is telling that during processing information, we are focusing on a specific aspect of experience, that is ignoring others that are irrelevant, is called. Here divided attention, no. Sustained attention, no. Sustained attention means despite all type of distraction, you still have ability to hold your attention. So it is also not to executive attention, no. And selective attention, specific, and focusing on specific means selective attention. So the right answer of this question is selective attention. It is very easy. Just it may not be found in the psychology books, but sometimes common sense should be applied, and unfortunately common sense is not so common. The paradoxical utterance of combines, it is related to English. The next question is 124. Yeah, here is the question. Let me zoom out it. Yeah, I think it is visible. From the following, the significant elements of cooperative learning groups are accept. In about cooperative learning, questions are asked in every paper. I have seen 7 or 8 paper, whatever the numbers are. But I remember question is asked from cooperative learning in every paper. And here is your share of cooperative learning. So from the following, the significant element of cooperative learning groups are accept. 3 are basic features, salient features of cooperative learning, and 1 is not. So what are they? Positive interdependence. Yes, it is. Sorry. It is element in cooperative learning. Second is individual accountability. Third is collaborative and social skill. Yeah, it is also element. Which is not element? Third is individual accountability, and second is individual accountability, and fourth is social loafing. Loafing means squandering your time. In word is very common, loafer. It is a very common word in Hindi also, loafer. It means to squander your time, to waste your time without having any responsibility, to behave in very careless manner. That is called loafing. So social loafing is not a significant element. It may be one or least drawback in the cooperative learning theory of learning, because in few cases some people may think that, oh, I need not do anything, my group will take responsibility, but it is negative. It is not a significant element. It is not prominent. It is a very, very a little, or something which you can say drawback of least significance. Otherwise, it creates in an individual accountability. So the right answer of this question is social loafing. Social loafing is a not significant element of cooperative learning. Because if social loafing is there, then there is no use of this theory of cooperative learning. So I think the concept is clear. Next question is 134. I think it is also on the next slide. Where is the next slide? Yeah. 134. Let me zoom out. And the next question is also 135. Yes, I think it is visible. Oh my God, it is. I have to move it. I have to zoom in again. Yes. Yeah. So the next question is the approach which emphasizes the active role of learner. Here, active role of learner, अधिगम कर्ता का सक्रिय role in building understanding and making sense of information is called social learning. No. Individualism. No. Gestalt emphasizes on insight. The keyword of Gestalt is insight. So it is also not. And what he is emphasizing on active role of learner. Active role of learner is always in constructivism. So the right answer of this question is constructivism. It is a very easy question. I think no one will make a mistake in attempting this question. Let's go to the next question. Let me erase it so that, yeah, I think I should move it little bit higher so that it is will be visible. Yeah. So the next question is, below some concepts or laws of learning theories and name of the person who propounded the theory are given. Match them. You have to match them. Match the column A with the column B. And let's see. Such type of questions take some time, and you can make mistakes in such type of questions by either under pressure of exam, or if you have spent squandered so much time in thinking, and if you have not filled your uh, ovals in the examination, otherwise you can easily do the question. Classical conditioning is related to Pavlov. Operant behavior is related to Skinner, and law of readiness is a first rule of Thorndike. So AX is in two options, here and here. Okay, and BZ is also here and here in two options. So let's eliminate these two options. This is the best trick if you have, because if you will go through all the options, it will waste your time. So while attempting such type of questions, you should focus on the strategy of elimination. It means the option which is not possible and which is clearly wrong, eliminate that. So you have to go through three options, or you have to go to only two options. Now let's zero it only on two options, 1 and 4. And here some strategy has also changed, because AX, BZ, here AX is on number 2 in 4 option. So it's just to spin your mind, to give some jolt to your moving speed of your mind, and otherwise the options are same. Third is a law of readiness. BZ. Okay, it is CV is here, and CY. So the options are very clear for, and let's check DW, D contiguous conditioning is yes with Guthrie. Guthrie's theory is सामीप्य अधिगम का सिद्धांत. If we tell in Hindi, it means if two things happen in close proximity even once, then the learner will learn it quickly. But the very first, it is also called the theory of single effort, but the very first effort may take more time. So, and reaction potential, it is deals with EY. So the right option of this question is D option. And I think if anyone has made mistake in this question, that may be possible only because AX here in option 1 is here, and he shifted AX on the number 2 position, and it will put your mind out of gear in exam pressure. So that is the good strategy of a paper maker, paper setter. So next question is this is 135. The subject related to politics, commerce, industry, sports, and this is basically related to English. I think that is on the next slide. Yeah, question number in the Westland. Westland is a very beautiful poem by T.S. Eliot. Beautiful. He is my favorite poet. But we have to focus only on psychology here. So the next question is, as per recent research, self-concept is multidimensional. Self-concept, if you tell in Hindi, बोले तो आत्मसंपर्तय. आत्मसंपर्तय or self-concept is multidimensional in nature. Some examples of academic and non-academic self-concepts are given below. Some examples of academic and non-academic self-concepts are given below. So, sort out examples of academic self-concept. Appearance is naturally non-academic, so it will not be here. Physical ability is also non-academic, so try to solve it with the policy of elimination. So B and F are clearly ruled out. Verbal, problem solving, and intellectual. Some examples, we have to sort out examples of academic self-concept. Academic self-concept is verbal, yeah. Problem solving, yes. And intellectual. Spiritual value has nothing to do with the academic problem solving. Spiritual, a person, an illiterate person with a very low academic qualifications can be spiritual. So in my opinion, the examples of academic self-concept are A, D, and E. A, D, and E is in two options. You can easily solve this question by focusing on or by concentrating on answers option. Given the options which are given in the answer, you can easily solve it. And now we are on the last question, which is the question number 17. Let me erase the previous red dots so that it becomes more clear, and let me put it on more upper stage. Yeah. In a senior secondary class, all the students usually bring their mobile phones. Yes. The principal of the school framed a rule that no one can bring mobile to the school, and the students obeyed it. According to Kohlberg's theory, which stage of development it is? Here rules are made. So it is rules are made, no one will bring it. So it is naturally related to the first stage of this. So first level of the and stage in the first level, the stage is stage 2. It is related to the stage 2. Here the rules are followed because mm, you scratch my back and I will scratch your back. I will not bring mobile and you will not bring your mobile. I will do this for you and you will do this for me. Here for this stage is stage 2. So in this way, I have tried to explain you the questions of education psychology for the English subject students, and it is my humble effort to provide you, to give you some, to provide you solution, to give you some insight into the uh, questions related to psychology, which is otherwise in English medium, which most of people do not prefer to explain, and English is my passion. Actually, I am a teacher of history, but earlier in grade 2 I was also teacher of English for some times, and I was selected, as I told earlier, twice I was selected in first grade school lecturer exam in 2015 and 2017. But I joined there as a student, as a teacher of history, and I cleared the NET exam in 2015. Years after my uh, post graduation in history, I did my almost 15 years later. I did my post graduation in English, and I cleared the NET exam in English also twice. But English and philosophy are my basic passions, and psychology is related to philosophy, so I feel it more convenient. I feel more attachment to the psychology, because philosophy is not a subject which is asked normally, except in a small portion in second grade SST exam, and in most of the cases that is also very small section of it is asked. So I feel more close to this psychology. That's why I am here with you. I hope this session will be uh, entertaining for you, and I will try to provide you solutions of education psychology, especially the difficult topics where students feel difficulty in explaining the concept, in grasping the concept. In those topics, I will explain the concept in a very easy and very smooth way, so that the phobia of psychology is not there. Especially this year in science subject, in maths and agriculture and in biology, the question of psychology, the difficulty level of the question of psychology was too much. In even in history, the difficulty level was very much, but the questions were asked which emphasize on your sense of application. If you have a good application sense, if you have understood the basic concepts of psychology, and if you are good in applying them according to the situation at the very quick and very short notice, then easily you can solve the questions of psychology. It was not so tough, and and a myth is circulated, a myth is made by students who couldn't understand the basic concept of psychology, that oh, it is really difficult, it is really difficult, but it is not so difficult, and you can find the answers very easily. So I hope to see you soon in the next session. I will try to keep you informing about the tough concepts, about educating, or about enlightening you about the tough concepts of psychology, so in the next exams you feel comfortable in psychology. My classes will be both in Hindi and English medium. Thanks for my tolerating me for such a long time.